Hey guys, Lou here from LT's Custom Woodworks. Welcome to the shop. Another day, another dollar. Today we are starting on another island build. This island build is a little different. It's a modern style slash rustic farmhouse style. So the legs are going to be the farmhouse style. The skirting of the island is going to be farmhouse style, but the front face of the cabinets are going to be the shaker style doors. The top is going to be quartz countertop. It sits at 36 inches in height, and it's 3 by 4 size of the island. So I'm going to get started on cutting some Baltic birch 3/4 inch plywood into 6-inch strips, and that's going to be for the legs and for the framing of the in between the legs. There's going to be an X top and bottom, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to cut some 6-inch strips out of 3/4 inch plywood, and then I'm going to miter a 45 on each side. Okay, so I set my blade at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to miter on both sides. That way when I go all the way around, you're going to get a nice sharp corner, and you'll get a nice even box all the way around. I will glue and pin those into place when the time comes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at both sides of the plywood. I'm going to find out the side that I want, which is going to be this side. So I will miter it on an angle this way. You're not going to see the inside of the box, so I'll take the shittier side. I'm going to find my sweet spot. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a sanding block. I'm just softening up the edges. Baltic birch plywood with the slivers, they're like razor blades. So I just take it and I just wipe up the ends a little bit. It just makes it much nicer to work with when you don't have razor blades sticking out of them. And I'll do that to all the pieces. And then this is ready for glue up. Final sand I'll do it at the very end. Once I get it down, cut the size. Nothing nothing major. That is one done. 3 more to go. Now that I have all these done, I'm going to cut some Baltic birch strips at 4 inches wide. This is sitting at 6 inches. I'm going to put an inch on this side, an inch on this side. There's going to be a brace on the bottom, a brace on the top that's going to be 4 inches. And I'm going to make them the same way. I'll miter the corners at 45, make them into a box, and then I'll secure it in the center. There's going to be a brace at the top brace on the bottom, and then an X in the middle. Again, I'm just gonna spread the glue out with my finger, pin it into place, good as golden. Bingo, bango, Bob's your uncle, Christine's your aunt, and Bill's your sister. I'm going to start cutting the legs now for the height that I need. The total height is 36 inches. So these legs are going to be cut at 35 because there's an inch quartz top that's going on top of that. So I'm going to start cutting all my legs up first, and then we're going to start working on the width, and then we'll be working on the X's. I'm going to drill some dowels into these side pieces for the legs so we can start assembling them together. So I'm going to start by drilling 2 holes, and these are going to be on the bottom. So I'm going to drill 2 holes on this one, 2 holes on that side, and then I'll do the other, same to the other 3. And I'm going to use a clamp. I'm just going to clamp them together and drive a screw. As soon as I get a good battery here. I'm going to be mitering these. This is for the X on the diagonals of the unit. So I'm going to be mitering them, gluing them, and pinning them into place. I'm going to be using brad nails, and I'll be using 1.5 inches just to pin them into place while the glue sets up. So I'll do one side, and then I'll mark out the other side, and I will cut it in the middle and fit it all into place like a puzzle. Now that I have the sides built, I'm going to start on the carcass, basically the cabinets of the island, and I'm going to cut my 3/4 inch Baltic birch plywood. I'm going to cut it at 21 inches, and I'm going to cut 2 strips to start off with, and that is going to take care of these 2 sides and the top and the bottom. Then we're going to figure out what we're going to need for length for the top and the bottom. But we're going to start cutting off 21 inches, 2 pieces on the table saw. I'm going to cut this top piece at 43 inches, and that allows for the finished edge on each side, including the side pieces. So I'm just going to put some tape on top here. That way I don't have chip out. When you're going against the grain on plywood, you get a lot of chip out. So I am just going to run some masking tape just to be on the safe side. I will mark it out at 43 inches and 1/8 because I got to allow for the saw blade. And that should be more than sufficient. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drive some brad nails in just to hold it in place. Then I'll drill some pilot holes and drive some 1¼ inch screws in place. It just makes life a lot easier if I do it that way. I'm just going to run a couple of pins to hold it in place, and then I will drill some pilot holes and screw it into place. So what I ended up doing is I cut this piece, and I'm going to slide it right in between the shelf, slam it up against, and I'm going to screw it on the bottom, screw it on the top, and screw it in the back. Then I know that this is going to be spaced out the same as equal as this side, and it works out perfect. So I will start marking this out. I'm going to lay this down. I'll clamp this on, slide it up against, drill some pilot holes from underneath, and screw it into place with 1¼ inch screws. I'll put about 3 screws. I got the middle shelf put into place. I think now before I do the face frame, I'm going to do the skirting on the sides and the back, and I'm going to be using 3/4 inch plywood as well. And I'm just going to router the edge to give it that plank look. After the plank is on, because it's going to be built out 3/4 of an inch, I'll just use this as an example, then I can put my face frame on the front of this. And I think that's the safer way to go. That way this whole thing gets covered. So I'll do the face frame last. There's going to be a door, and a drawer and a drawer at the top as well. So I'll do the skirting first and then we'll go from there. And then we're just going to pin it in with brad nails, and I'm using 1¼ brad nails to pin it in place. I'll give it a final sand right at the very end. Then there's the sides that go on, which are the table base, basically the countertop base. I am going to be starting to work on the face frame of the front, and then we can start working on the drawers and the doors. I'm going to be using 3/4 inch stock, and I'm cutting for the face frame. So I got the saw set up at 1.5 inches. And I'm going to start to rip my pieces. I've cut all my pieces for the face frame. And what I'm going to do is I drilled all the pocket hole screws so I can start assembling this together. And I'm going to put this all together, then I'll just glue the back of it and pin it into place. There's going to be 2 drawers on the bottom, 2 drawers on the top and 2 doors on the bottom. Now normally I would stop this face frame at the bottom of the cupboard where the kick plate is. But I kind of like the look of just dropping it to the floor. I'm going to do something different this time. I'm going to try that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it this way. I'll put it together and then pin it into place. Worst comes to worst, I can always cut the bottom. It's not a big deal. So I will start assembling this together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the back of this face frame, and then I'm going to pin it into place. The next episode is going to be the shelving, the floating shelvings on each end here, the drawers, the door build, and ready for sand. And we'll be doing the finishing as well, which is going to be dark walnut with a clear coat. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I will see you on the next vid. Thanks for watching.